friends, Crappy Cathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy, and I think at the end of this you'll say frenzy was probably the appropriate word. This is the messiest my desk has ever been before starting a project. I have pulled, well, let me show you the original. You'll know instantly, looking at this original, that this is not my style. And that being said, it kind of scares me. I think it's beautiful in a beautiful kind of way that I usually don't do, possibly because I'm not very good at it. That, you know, it's almost deeply encrusted, very, very, very dimensional flowers. And I don't mind dimension, but they're kind of, well, they're gathered here and here, and then there's this frame that has a floral photo or picture inside of it. Lovely black and white photo, and then all of the mixed media kind of peeking out from under it. I think I'm going to go, let's see, I've got a bunch of flowers that are kind of in the color scheme that I want, and how my jumping off point for the color scheme, and I hope I can find it under all this stuff, was this frame. And it came from a set of, this set of stitched frames in a coral color line, a really pale coral, and there's coral thread on the stitching. It's kind of crafty colors and cream. It's from 49 and Market, vintage artistry colors, and it's a color line by Katie Petit. That's this coral. So anyway, I'm going to layer this behind my photo. My photo is, and I'm gonna kind of be antiquing or inking or distressing a lot of things here because I kind of want it to have a cohesive look. Don't want anything too modern looking, if you will, because my photo is, I'm gonna say this has to be at least 57 years old. This is, the car is my best friend Robbie. That's Robbie right there, and that's me. It's her car. It was a Henry J, and she named it Herman. And this is how we all got around. Robbie started school in Texas, so she was a year older than the others in her grade. So she was the first to get her driver's license and first to get a car. And I believe that this is the yearbook staff, and our yearbook was called the Topper. This was the Topper staff. And Jerry Elkins, who is this guy right here, I believe was the editor of all of the sports-related sections in the yearbook. And Terrence was the editor of all the scholastic activity kinds of things. And I think Tinka did like the fun activity type pages. And then the rest of us did the classes, like the senior class, the junior class, or whatever. And I believe this was the year that Robbie and I were doing the senior class, and we were having like way too much fun. Anyway, you don't need to know the story of the picture as much as to know that I copied this. This was put out on Facebook by someone in the group, and I snagged it off of Facebook, brought it into my photo editor, kind of pumped up the sepia tones in it, and it kind of added this, and I think I ran it through an Instagram filter as well to kind of add some of this sepia to it to make the photograph look like it wasn't just printed yesterday, which it was. And so I want to use supplies and kind of embellish the page as though the page were also 57 years old. That's crazy, 57 years ago. It's hard to believe, you know, we were humans then. And there's a question about that. So anyway, I'm gonna put the photo aside. I have layered, I guess I can show you that. I've layered papers from Storyteller, and I die cut some leaf sprigs out of this texty paper, this green tweed paper, and this kind of beigey coral geometric design photo, so I'll put that over there. And this is my little collection of these, and if I feel like it, I may every once in a while throw in a B-side that has something unexpected like this black and white there. So I'm gonna kind of put that there. I'll put the original kind of here. I have a whole variety of punches, floral punches that also emboss, and I was gonna pick a collection and do some of those, and I thought, no, I have a million of these Prima flowers. I have these in white that I could color up. These are kind of in greens and grays, or greenish gray, and I have this box of miscellaneous and assorted paper and nylon kind of flowers, and I've pulled some of the colors that I thought I might want to use, and every once in a while I see another one I wish I'd pulled. So I'm going to kind of leave it there. I may pull it back. I'm going to keep it handy, but I'm going to set it aside right now. And I have these little, these are a mint green. I don't think that fits into my color scheme. There are these pink ones that maybe I can, let's see if this works. Can I? Okay, that's got kind of more of the black ink on it. I'm not crazy about that, so I'll put it back in, and I'll have this on here, but plan not to use it. I'm going to put the tablet away. You've seen the papers I used. This is gorgeous, and I may fussy cut something from here. So I'm gonna, the style of these cabbage roses is kind of fitting, and of course the colors go because these papers are from that same collection. So I'm gonna put this right here and just kind of have it there. I have pulled a bunch of things from my crazy box, which is this box of things from miscellaneous collections that there are not enough of any one collection to be put away with that to justify the time. So I kind of pulled this little postcard and this, which is a beach embellishment, and if I put a flower there, you won't see that blue. So I just kind of tacked it onto the back. I have some thread in here, so I'll keep it handy in case I decide I want to do any thread stuff, packaging, folders. Okay, I've got this, which could be, might be cute. I'm going to pull that out and kind of put it here with things I might use. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of stick that a little bit off to the side, but handy. Now, in the original, there is the picture frame that this is sitting on is this rather ornate oval shaped. And I don't have an oval one, but I have this oval shaped collection of leaves that and this that I could kind of pull in as I'm putting it together, if that seems like a good idea. I have some Bramble Fox hearts. I've got these gold metallic-y looking ones and kind of a dull pink, and I think I'm gonna keep those handy, but not necessarily peel any. I know I am gonna use this pink camera. This is like a Polaroid camera, like we might have been using on that day. I'm going to use Tattered Rose Distress Oxides in my mixed media, and I have just what I've done already. Here's some things I may or may not use. I'm going to put these over with these stickers. I've got a ton of stickers in different shapes that I may use. This is the die I used. I don't think I need to have that here anymore. Okay, so I also have 3 stencils. I like the stencil here. I'm noticing there's a lot, what I like about this is there is a lot of texture along in here. Looks like stencils overlaying other stencils. So something with a very distinct shape like this I could use and then layer something random and abstract like that over it. Or even bits of her hair, because that's some interesting texture in the bangs of her hair. And I'm not sure you can see these. Let me put them up against some dark paper. So this one has splotches and this kind of stuff here. It's got some lines that you can kind of use for texture. This thing that looks like a torn piece of washi tape. But I really like the texture in her bangs, and I have used this stencil more for her bangs than I have for her face. Although I have used the face. And it may go like this because now you can see, actually read something of the words. So there's that. And then I have this one, which is very abstract. And I had to kind of turn it different ways before I realized that that's a hand. And there are some things around there. But I really like the surrounding stuff. And I may just kind of overlay some of this that I do. So we'll see how that works out. So what I've done already is I've used my clear gesso and I applied it with this brush and I kind of did it in a diagonal. And let me make sure that I have it, the diagonal. And the reason, and I kind of did it like that. I didn't go all the way to the edges. The reason for that is when I apply water and I let the ink kind of flow and run and move around, I want it to soak in to the edges where I finished my, because I think that'll give it some texture. And I'm trying right now, I don't know why, I'm trying to get a piece of hair, or it's like fiber, some lint off of it, because that just adds texture, right? So I'm going to put the gesso away with this paintbrush. I'm finished with that. I have, I showed you already that I have the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide, and I've got a brush to put that on, and I've got this little sponge thing which I use to maybe concentrate color in some places. And I've also got gathered twigs, which is what I use to distress things or ink the edges. Let me pull this away. And I'm gonna kind of do that. I have also used this this ink applicator, this ink blender on a black ink pad So it gives me that effect of the kind of blackened, charred gathered twigs. We've gathered them and we've charred them a bit. And I can kind of use that on these edges. Get that. It would have been good to have done the edges individually before gluing them all together, but I don't think I got the idea to make everything look old until I realized how old I felt when I looked at this. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'll put that aside with the frame. And I may, while I'm here, I may as well ink the frame. I'm going to ink it on the inside and outside edges. And I'm not going to do it perfectly evenly because I want it to look natural. And this will kind of, this is going to be glued straight down onto the paper. And this inking will kind of give it a little bit of dimension as though it were raised. I just don't think I can raise it up and keep it even successfully with things that I'm going to be adding around and under and on top of it. Okay, so having done that, let's see where we start. I'm gonna start actually by brushing on some of the tattered rows, making sure that it covers the part that I gessoed and it extends off a bit so that I can get that look I'm going for. And just so you know, that's an idea I have. I've never tried this, seeing if it gives kind of a dark outline around where the page is not gessoed, but from what we know about the performance of gesso, watery mediums flow around. Okay, that's just kind of there, and I'm not going to wet it just yet. So I'm going to I'm going to place this right here. I'm going to raise this up with some foam when it's all said and done. But I just kind of want to get an idea where it's going to be so I know where to do the mixed media. I know I want some right in here, and I'm going to kind of leave myself a little bit of a message there, and then I will definitely want some down here and kind of right there, and I'll know kind of to go around there. But that's just little markings I'm doing for myself. Okay, so let's go with this guy. And and I should have probably opened these things to see what condition they were in. This one appears to be okay. This is Vicki Boutin Creative FX Rose Gold Glaze, and it's not exactly that corally type color, but it's a color that's gonna kind of go with it. And I'm kind of spreading it so that it doesn't necessarily, yeah. See, I wanted the shadowing around the shape there. I'm gonna go do one up here, and I'm not gonna care that will get on here, because if you look at the original, it kind of looks like somebody spilled or let their 5-year-old nearby, marking some things on it. Oops, and see, just that splotch right there that I made by my knife going, and this isn't the best palette knife that I have. I'm gonna kind of do this, but I'm gonna do it horizontally. I've got another product from Viva called Modeling Cream, and it is a kind of, it's a champagne color, and I thought that might be good for some overlapping. And then let me do another like this one right here, and maybe these three. Then I'm gonna, chances are these won't really show too much. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Let me get up and make sure I'm on screen. I worry about that. I set up 2 mats because I really didn't want to get any of my mixed media. I had envisioned maybe doing some spraying. I don't know that I will do that, but I kind of wanted my mixed media to, I didn't want it on the tablecloth, let me put it that way. Okay, so I've just kind of got, and these look pretty random, and here's where I need John to clean my stencils, but, and I'm sure he would if he were here. Let me do this and kind of wipe it off like that. And I'm going to use the same knife, just kind of wiped off. And in the meantime, I'm kind of letting that dry. And I'm sure you just love, I'm sure that's why you tuned in, was to watch me clean my stencils. This is not a good job, and I think it may be time to haul out a baby wipe. I generally feel like those stamp chamois and paper towels are more ecologically friendly. I think baby wipes are not necessarily the best things for the planet. So lately, in the last year or so, I've tried to limit their use. Okay, so now I'm going to put that stencil away, and I'm going to, well, let me go to her bangs and some of these lines right here. Let's do that, and we'll pull up this modeling paste. What did I do with my knife? There it is. It's hiding. Okay, this is a little thicker. And I'm kind of happy about that. I'm going to go ahead and let it hit some of those splotchy areas, but I'm mostly going for the lines, and there's, you know, a few little bubbly looking things. And then let me do some just on this spot right here through the bangs. And I think it's gonna look okay, like that, like that. Let me do just these lines of hair through here. Now keep in mind, all of this is subject to being covered up by flowers and the rather large photo I have, made even larger by all the matting. Okay, so I've got that. All right. I'm gonna take these lines, they're horizontal, I'll run them across here. Then I have an idea okay, things are kind of getting a little bit obscured, which is what I was after. Let me kind of turn this, and I'm going to do these splotches, which will almost completely obscure this little, whatever that thing is. I don't know what you would call that. It's okay, there. Now, I'll use my baby wipe and let that dry. And then I'm going to spray some water, and we'll see how well those colors kind of spread around, and we can kind of start putting a page together. These look like kind of random splotches, and it's going to be up to me to work the other embellishments around so that these don't look like just random splotches on a page. And I'm kind of letting that dry. Okay, stencils aside, I haven't used this one, but I may use it, I may touch it in once we've got everything pulled together. Okay, so now, okay, I like that because those splotches fall inside the frame. Actually, let me use some wet glue on the frame since it's going to be touching some mixed media. And I want it to freeze in place on contact. I don't want to have to rub around on it a lot. So and you see already that I can, you know, gather some flowers around here and put some attached to the frame itself and leave this kind of showing. I'm gonna layer my photo this way, and that means I need foam over on this side. Let's see. get the right scissors. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the foam kind of smack in the middle, and then I'll add a layer right here. I'm going to leave this open. Well, actually, I'm not. I'll let that right there. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to get a clean paper towel and press that down. Okay. Now, I want to work this. Let me go with this one because it's all together. I want to work this into the composition. There, and I can gather. I have some pieces of flare here that I want to be sure to get in. I like the idea of putting the geotag there. So let's see, where's the lid to this? Don't want that to dry out while we're working here. Couple pieces, and you've seen me do this before. What I do, these have a little bit of a recessed back. I think the new design may be different. Adam got a brand spanking new machine and some new parts, so the flare will be a little bit flatter and maybe not domed up as much, if that's a word. And so there may not be that little spot, and you may be able to put adhesive. I haven't seen any of the new ones yet. Okay, so I've just kind of randomly put a few things that I know I want. I think it may be time to put some flowers. And my largest flowers I have are these wood pieces that have kind of a pewter-ish looking finish to them. And I thought I would use them as an anchor or maybe even a platform for some of my paper flowers. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do some foam so that it doesn't show through. And I don't know who makes these. I got mine in a Mind the Scrap kit a few months ago, and I hadn't used them, but they're beautiful and perfect for this layout, I think. So let me do a little bit, tiny bit of glue on here. And I'll peel this back. And I think it's kind of it's almost like a distressed silver. And so it's perfect for the vintage vibe I'm trying to go for with the photo. So let me do this, and then I can put this tape down on here, and let me put a little, well, I'll figure out where that glue goes. And yes, I'm mixing metals. This is a gold, and let's see, I want that kind of up that way. So this needs to be down here. And that doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I see challenges every once in a while for people to mix metals, and you'd be surprised how many people just, you know, are horrified by that idea, and like using white and cream together, which somehow doesn't bother me. But then, you know, very little does bother me. Okay, here is one of the flares. This came in one of the purple collections from Dottie About Flare. And it's, when I looked at it, I thought, oh, okay, pretty purple rose, or purple flower. I'm not sure if I'll, you know, ever use it, but it's perfect here. Not sure where. Let me kind of see. It would go nicely there. And then I can overlap it with some leaves or flowers. Okay, so I want to get the, I don't know what I want to say, important elements, the elements that I definitely feel kind of pick up on the vibe I'm trying to put down. And then I'll add in other things as they make sense, or as I have room for them. Let me get this. And you can see, because of the shape of my frame, it's not, and the size of my photo, it's not exactly, you know, looking like the original. But it's close enough, I think. I hope it will be anyway. Let me add some tattered rose to this. Where is my, here it is. I'll just kind of, and I should have something underneath here to pick that up so it's not on my mat, because I'll use that mat and expect, you know what this gives me the idea to do? How about this? Just kind of color in some of those hearts. Okay, and let me do okay, and I guess I could use at least one here. Okay, so that was a good idea. Now let's see where I put that guy. Okay, I'm going to try to sneak it in there. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to actually not spray the oxide. I will use a wet what did I do? Where was that? I think I had it. I know I had it further back in there before I put the glue on. So let me get my little thing here and do some more. There we go. Okay, that seems to work. Okay, so let me do this. I have a paintbrush, I know I do, and I have some water that I'm going to spray in this little saucer. I'm going to get it wet and kind of move it around here. Okay, and I've obscured the hearts, but that's okay because I can always go back. Well, I can't because I've used my stencil, my cut file, which I'm using as a stencil. Okay, and I'm not seeing that edge that I thought I might see. I might need a darker color, and I might actually need to spray and move the color around. Let me get around here. And this is, I almost, if I were doing this without an example and an inspiration to lift, and in fact, you could stop it here. There's nothing that says you have to use paper flowers. I just happen to have a really huge collection of paper flowers, and they need to be used, and this is the layout to use them on. Okay, I think I have the general effect I was going for, but I want some splatters. And they're going to be subtle, but you now know they're there because you will have seen me work so hard to get them there, and then you're saying to yourself, where the heck did they go? Okay, that may be all the wet work I'm going to do at the moment. So I'm going to get back into my flower collection. Let's see what the idea I had for this one is this great big old floppy flower could go there. I could glue it down, and then I could put a piece of flare on top as the center. And I've just covered up the heart, but it's kind of peeking out there. Okay, here's my flare. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? Is I'm going to use another flower as the center, maybe this one, and then I'll put this kind of just peeking out right there. I think I like that better. I'm going to have to put a big glop of glue because this has a little thing in the center that kind of picks it out. Okay, now I have this flower, which I can use. I have a set of sequins. This one. They're kind of neutral, pinky looking things. This has some stamping or other texture on it. I'm going to prop it up. See, this is the other side. It's really pretty. I don't know where I got it, but it's among the oldest supplies that I have. Okay, there. And that's kind of tucked down onto there. And I'm going to glue a sequin there. Let's see where my tweezers are. These sequins kind of in one light, they're iridescent, and in one light they look pink, and another they look green, kind of a minty grayish green. Okay, it doesn't, okay, I need that to stick. And I've got this green here that I could do right there. This is kind of a splotch that I didn't think I minded making, but as it turns out, I don't like it all that much, so I'm happy to cover it up. Some splurches and splotches look random, others look intentional, and others just look messy and unnecessary. So I'm gonna put that little flower there, and I've got this little white rosette that should stand up nicely right there, and that glue should hold them on nicely. This can go, let's see, I don't want to I don't want to cover up that. I may do this and then add, I'll just do some of my leaf sprigs. I need to be sure to have room for my leaf sprigs. So let's work on some of those. I'm going to go with one of these coral, of course I did that. One of these coral ones that has the little tendrils, which I love. Okay, there. And then I'm going to go with a green of a different shape. That's pretty on the other side, right? Maybe like that. And then I'll do this texty word stuff right there. Okay, now I need something kind of right in here, and this is an unusual color that I'm bringing in, and I could layer maybe, why don't I just do a sequin on top of that? I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do it right here. And if I punch it like that and have it kind of curl up, that gives me some of that dimension that I'm going for. And this is similar to the dimension of the original, right? Okay, I have another, okay, here's this one. And I'm really gonna do some leaves around this one. There we go, and I might actually do this one in the black and white instead of the coral side. Okay, now let's see. I want to add this right here and kind of really layer up lots of these smaller flowers. Let me get this one, which is a little bit different. What did I do? I pulled it off. I bet you saw that before I did. Okay, I have this bit of it's a punched button, and it doesn't necessarily go with anything here, but I wanted to work it in because I don't want to lose it. And I'm just kind of throwing in random colors like the purple of that flower, because I don't want it to look all matchy-matchy without any accent colors. So Okay, those will eventually stick. Now here, I'm going to take these and let them be leaves to this little flower, and I'm going to layer them on top of the petals of that kind of grayish green flower. Let me do it here because there's an opening there. Okay, and then and let me do one of the little coral colored ones. This is actually fun and I'm kind of liking it. But I will admit that I was and might still be a little scared. Okay, I like this pink camera. Don't want to forget it. Let me peel the backing off. And I'll put a little here. I'm going to work it into this area down here, kind of at an angle. Let me get this outline heart. It's just the palest pink, kind of a grayish pink, and I think it would be perfect layered over here with this pink flare. So I'm going to try to just glue the top edge of it kind of over onto that flare. So it's just kind of sitting there, and it's going to have to dry to work. I think I'm going to put this here because I want that color on both sides. And I think it would offset that that green nicely. And it seems like I need something up in here. And I hate to be covering all of that mixed media. So I'll kind of put it a little off to the side there. Okay. I have more leaves that need to be added. Let me add these texty ones. I didn't put any of those up here. And I need some down here. Curl that up a bit. It'll flatten down in a minute. Okay, and I thought I'd do the rest of them kind of down in here. Just a mix of the colors. And I have to tell you that I'm so grateful to this group for getting me out of my comfort zone on so many layouts. I just am inspired so much by the people in this group, and I find myself saying many times each week, how on earth did she do that? And I guess that's why we watch the videos, right? Okay. And this is my last leaf sprig, I think. And where do I want it? I want it right here. What I love about those leaf sprigs is that they don't really cover anything up. They just kind of draw your eye to stuff. I've got some of these stickers, and I'm thinking I don't need that. I was thinking I might do a small title. The inspiration piece doesn't have a title, and I think I saw on one of these sticker sheets something I could use as a title. Maybe not. Okay, how about, which is so perfect for, I'll show you the things I considered. I like this. It says, these are the best days. And I was thinking it could maybe go there. It's a smaller sticker than what shows here. But those colors are just a tad not exactly right. And it's a little too modern, I think. But this that says, if you stumble, make it part of the dance, is kind of perfect. Not a necessary story, but kind of apropos of my not having any idea how I was going to do this layout. And so that's how I do mixed media, is I stumble and I make it part of the dance. Let me get, where's this guy? I'm just antiquing it so that it looks as old as the picture and everything else on the page. That's just kind of, oh my goodness. And I'm gonna have to bump the camera holder. Ooh, look what I found. I found another leaf sprig. So I'm thinking it might want to go, I like that, so I kind of want to keep it there. I could kind of stick it there. And then I know that this thing is going to probably here. I don't want to obscure Tinka from the photo. Okay, there. Now, should I maybe cut this and do this? That way it doesn't cover up too much of this, or any of it, if I do it this way. Okay, here we go. And back in those days, and I guess everyone's high school days, you now realize you were just one of many who were pretty much stumbling through it. And if you were lucky, making it part of the dance. Okay, I think I'm done. I was maybe going to try to use this blue book since it was about the yearbook staff, and it might kind of look cute right there. But let me see if I have an alcohol marker that I can change the color with. Let's do that. This is a black Copic marker that is running out of ink. So it's kind of going on in a distressed sort of look, which is kind of good. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, another leaf sprig. I keep finding these. This is wonderful. Okay, and I see exactly where I need to put this one. It's to go right there. Okay, let me, and I know by now you're probably saying, my gosh, when is she going to be finished with this layout? So I'm going to do this. And this is kind of filling in some of the gaps that the black marker left with that brown color. And it isn't going to, it wouldn't have colored the blue just by itself. But on top of the marker, it kind of fills in, and it's good enough. Let me put it that way. Let me get this. There. Okay, now I see this heart here, and I want to add a bramble fox heart. I've got this, which is the same color and material. It's the kind of frosty, translucent pink, which gives a little bit more of a coral kind of hue. My finishing touch. There we go. And I will do some journaling. I had these out, but they're the wrong color. I'm not happy with those. There were some other things in here I thought I might use, but I'm done. I think I'm happy with it, and I think you can see the mixed media. I don't know if you in any way interpret it to be the same as this, but you know, and I didn't fussy cut any of these. I guess I could have maybe put some around, but I'm happy with it as it is. So I'm going to call it done, and thank you. Oops, I see one thing. I didn't put my sequin in the middle of my, this flower, and I can't leave that open hole there. So, you know, that would just not be right. Okay, so I've got that in. All right. So thank you for watching. I'm sure this was a longer one than, yeah, over an hour. Okay, sorry about that, guys, but it is what it is, and it took me that long. So, bye.